This episode is going to be a very spicy one because today we will talk about how to seduce a man in the right way. If you want to be his fantasy or that you want that a man thinks of you 24/7, then watch this video. Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome back to my YouTube channel. The misconception that a lot of girls have is that they think that they need to give it all to a man. But that's where they are wrong, because what you as a girl need to do, you need to be able to plant the seeds in his head, but not give it all right away from the get-go. Because when you plant the seeds, but you don't give it all to him, that shows that he needs to earn it. And if he needs to earn it, he also needs to chase it. Instead of giving him the best sex of his life and rewarding him, make him wait and lure him in. For example, if you have been seeing each other for a while, what you can do is you can say that, oh, I went shopping with my friends, guess what I bought? And then he asks you, oh, what did you buy? And you're like, yeah, I was just buying some lingerie. And the first thing in his head, he will think to himself, who is she buying this lingerie for? And then instead of showing it on you, you will just put it on the bed and you'll be like, oh, look what I bought. And then his fantasy starts working immediately, because you don't need to show it on yourself. Because once you planted the seeds and you showed him the lingerie in your bed, he can just imagine how it will look on you. And that's the power of seduction. He doesn't need to see it on you. His fantasy will play once you're planting the seeds from the get-go. And that's exactly the power of seduction. You don't need to give it all to him. You don't need to give him the full package. You just give him a little bit, and the rest is up for imagination. And when you give him something to work with and you don't give him the full package from the get-go, then he also understands that he needs to earn it and he needs to wait for it. When you don't give it all to him, he will want it even more, because he will think to himself, why can't I get it? And at the end of the day, you always want what you can't have. Also, what a lot of girls do, and they really shouldn't, is send the guys nudes. And this is the worst thing that you can actually do, because why should you reveal to the guy how you're looking if you can just picture it? And there was also a study where women were just in a swimsuit and the others were naked. Where do you think the guy was more aroused by? When the women were in the swimsuit. Because when you don't show everything what you have to offer and the guy needs to imagine it, that's exactly what turns him on. He will not be turned on by just a simply naked woman. He will be more turned on by a woman in a bikini or a swimsuit, because then his imagination starts to work. And that's exactly how seduction works as well. Because seduction is rather a slower process than a quicker one. You seduce him step by step. You don't give it all right from the get-go. Because if you do give it all to him from the get-go, then he will not appreciate you, he will not respect you, and you will turn really quickly from dream girl into a doormat. Second of all, learn to be a closed book. Even if you guys are already in a relationship and you slept together, you can still be a closed book. And now a lot of girls will ask me, oh, how is this possible? He already saw everything and we already slept together. What is there more to me? But being a closed book is not only if you slept with him or if you didn't sleep with him. Because if he stays curious about you, if you don't open up to him for everything right away, that's how you stay mysterious and intriguing. And that's also what seduction is really all about. Even if you guys already slept together and the next day he doesn't really know what you're doing, what you're up to, if he doesn't ask for it, don't tell him, because like that you're staying more mysterious and intriguing. And then that also makes him to chase after you and ask you, oh, how has your day been? What are you doing? Because like that you're staying mysterious and intriguing. You don't need to update him about all parts of your day. If he asks you, update him. But if he doesn't, let it stay for yourself, because there's nothing better than being a little bit mysterious, because that keeps the flame always alive. So stop explaining yourself if they haven't asked you what you have been up to or what you have been doing. Stop complaining and stop explaining yourself. And lastly, how you can seduce him is obviously in person. It's the way you look at him. There is a distinction between siren eyes and dew eyes. What are siren eyes? Siren eyes are also known as seductive eyes. Is when you exactly look at the guy in the eyes and you're very confident and he knows exactly what you want. And even though you might want him, you still don't give everything to him. And that's exactly when he would want you even more. Because it's what I said before, when you can have something, you want it even more. And if you are teasing him and you don't give it to him all from the get-go, he's like, oh my God, what do I need to get to win that girl over? And that's exactly what you should do as well. Also, you can play in a combination between siren eyes and dew eyes. Dew eyes are more cute eyes. It's when you're just smiling at him and he understands, oh my God, like you're such a cute girl, but then you immediately can switch to siren eyes, which is a very hot and confident look. Also, the behavior of a siren in general is someone who gets always what they want, and they can get everything, but they can also get away with everything. So when you look at a guy with siren eyes, you look at him in a very mesmerizing way, and your charm is always working in your favor to get away with anything and also to get everything that you want from him. And also what you can do if you've been in a long-term relationship with him, or there are moments that remind you of something, you can text him and make his imagination play. For example, if you guys shared a moment together where you have been and you just randomly text him during the day and you are like, oh, do you remember when we were there? That also makes his imagination going. And if you combine all of those together, you will be very seductive. Also, learn to be the black cat in the relationship. What does that mean? You should be the one that is always mysterious and that the guy needs to chase. Because if you are the golden retriever and the guy is the black cat, the relationship will never work out. Because a black cat is the one being chased. She's never a fully open book. She's always mysterious. Versus a golden retriever is the one chasing. And if you are the golden retriever, then the man will simply not have respect for you. And it's much better to stay a little bit mysterious, to know how to seduce him. Because then not only do you keep the flame alive between you two, but he's always at the edge of his seat, and he's aware that if he doesn't treat you right, you can tell him bye-bye straight from the moment he fucks up. Seduction is all about having a certain charm and triggering excitement. It's all about being mysterious, confident, and independent. Now to a step-to-step guide on how to seduce him in person. As you may know, it's all in the eyes. The eyes, they never lie. If you are able to maintain eye contact with the guy that you are crushing on, you will win him over 100%. Second of all, once you are maintaining the eye contact with him, smile. And third of all, which is also very important, talk slowly. I previously mentioned that seduction is a more slower process. Also, when you talk to him in a very slow and gentle way. Do you see the difference when I talk very fast and I'm like, oh, how has your day been? But then if I talk slowly and I'm like, hi, how has your day been? It makes a huge difference, because when you talk slower to a person, that's exactly what someone perceives as seductive, because there's no pressure in your voice. It's like when you wake up, you have this very raspy, relaxed voice. That's exactly how you want to talk to someone when you're trying to seduce him. So instead of just saying how you would normally say, hey, how has your day been? What are you up to? In a very fast and precious way, just say it in a very relaxed way. Hey, how has your day been? And it makes a huge difference. And even if you're not in person and you record an audio for him, you can also speak very slowly, and this will be very seductive. And when you're in person with him and you're already maintaining the eye contact, you're smiling at him, you're talking to him in a very soft and gentle way. You can also touch a part of your body, for example, your hair. Do you see the difference if I just go with my hair like that, or if I touch it very slowly and I look at him? Because if you have those slow movements, especially if you touch your hair, for example, this is also a very seductive way of talking to a guy. In general, acting very feminine and very gentle will make any guy go crazy over you, and he will think to himself, what do I do with the goddess that is standing in front of me right now? You can even ask him if you are more of a bold person. Do I make you nervous? And then you can see his blunt reaction because you guys are interacting in person. When you look at him, you can also use the triangle method. It's basically looking in his left eye, then to his right eye, and then to his lips. That's a very effective way of seducing anyone in general. If you are with him and he wears a button-up shirt, you can come closer to him and you can even open one of his buttons, or if he has wrinkles in his shirt, closer to him and fix his shirt. Or if he's wearing a piece of jewelry, you can come to him and fix the jewelry or start playing with his hair. All those small gestures are very seductive. And now the best seduction trick out of all of them. Next time when you are talking to him and he's in front of you, be sure to have something in your hand and then drop it by accident. And then once you drop the thing that you had in your hand, let's say you had lip gloss in your hand and then you by accident dropped it, you hold on to his thighs and you look up at him as if you went down too slow and you needed to hold on to someone. And then you basically grab your lip gloss, you look him in the eyes and you're like, oh, sorry that this happened. And then you go up again while looking him in the eye. Do this and I will tell you that this guy that you do this to will fold in a heartbeat. And my last tip is for whenever you're texting a guy, instead of just saying, hey, what are you up to? Say, hey, George, what are you up to? There's a famous poet that once said, there is nothing sweeter in any language for any person than the sound of their own name. People love it when you call them directly by their name. If you have a crush on someone or there's this guy that you want to seduce over text, instead of just writing, hey, what are you up to? How has your day been? If his name is George, for example, you just say, hey, George, what have you been up to? Because there's nothing sweeter for anyone than the sound of their own name. Try all these tips and tricks that I mentioned in the video. Let me know in the comments how it goes, and trust me, there is a 0% failure rate. I hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, because a lot more is coming on this channel.